أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. I'd like to greet everybody from Washington, D.C., inshallah, on my way to Houston. But, I wanted to talk to you today about the importance of the curriculum that we came up with to teach the sisters mentorship class. The way we put it, alhamdulillah, Sister Maryam also put the suggestions in a very nice order. So I would ask her, inshallah, to read each topic, and I'll tell you how they are set together and how they lead to each other. Before that, I want to mention to you the importance of having a curriculum. All the years before, it was more of a preparation to arrive at this year. Alhamdulillah, to 2018, Brother Reza and myself, as educational leaders in the masjid, he is the educational director, and I'm as the religious scholar, the resident scholar and religious educational, supervisor, coach, mentor, whatever you want to say, the masjid. We meet every Sunday morning for 2 hours, sometimes for 1 hour or an hour and a half. It gets 2 hours sometimes, to discuss basically what we achieved last week, what we are trying to achieve next week, and our plan for next month. And this is something about strategic planning that comes to the subject of February, inshallah, that we are going to start our curriculum with, kick off our curriculum with. Priorities, setting priorities and strategic planning. So, we discuss the things that we achieved in the past week. So every Sunday, we say from last Sunday until this Sunday, what happened in the masjid, all the educational and religious programs, our evaluation, the good things, how to improve them, and the parts that would need improvement, the areas that need improvement, and we try to work on it and plan for it to become better. Be it a training needed, or a problem fixed, or a resource figured out, or a cause mitigated, and so on. Okay, and then we say what we are going to do next week. Of course, the next week is planned ahead before that, but we go over it in specifics. What's going to happen on Monday, say, even though it's my day off, or Tuesday is my day off, but what's going to happen in the masjid, educational and religious programs. Wednesday, we're going to have sister program, and that's what we're going to discuss. And we discussed this last week, and so on. And what will happen with the Ijaza program, what is going to happen with the kids program, and so on and so forth, until the following Sunday. And then we go over quickly for the next month, the next 4 weeks, in general, about the theme, about how it's happening, and how about we bridge what we did last week to what we're doing this week to what is going to happen the following month. So I'm just giving you that because this is exactly what we're going to be doing, right? What we're going to be doing every week. Now, this is very important. Important to have a curriculum, important to have a goal, important to have a theme, important to have objectives. And that's something that I learned when I did my master's in education back in 2012. 2012. I did my master's in education then. And since then, I started thinking like that. Also, the good news I wanted to share with you that, alhamdulillah, after I finished my PhD back in September, I am taking now classes toward an MPA degree, Masters of Public Administration's Policy Design and Delivery, alhamdulillah, at Harvard University.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah, and I am doing the classes. I started last week, and it is a very intensive executive program that, inshallah, should finish with a year, a year and a half max. And after at the end, I have to go spend a semester there to get awarded the master's program. So this is going to benefit us a lot, because this is exactly what I'm going to be teaching you over this year. Isn't that good news? So, yeah, so what I'm taking, I want to be delivering to you in this class format, okay? In this class, I will be teaching you not exactly what I'm learning, because it is more of a master degree level comprehensive, condensed, project-oriented, but we are going to do the exact same thing. Okay, that this is actually going to help me in my class, and it's going to help you with quality education as well, right? So we're both winners in this, inshallah. So we're going to see the new Sheikh Mamdouh this year. This class, this course or this mentorship course of 2023, that will be launched, inshallah, in the beginning of February, next week, next Wednesday, basically. It is going to be project-oriented. So we're going to have a problem or a project that we need to design a policy for, and we need to design a solution for. We need to design a plan for, okay? And then we have to go about that plan strategically to achieve it, inshallah. So we're tackling a main issue or a problem that we all have to have consensus and agree on. And you can have your own, that's fine. But we as a class are going to work on one issue. So we're going to put our minds together and pick one issue, inshallah, and we will work on it, how we strategically plan, how we find where's the problem, who are main actors in it, what are the failures that happen, why this problem was not solved, and what are the things that preventing us from solving it as a Muslim community, and so on. And that problem, we need to put our minds together to come up with a problem that all community members are affected by. So there's an issue. As an example, for example, like, as an example, delivering a proper Islamic education for our children. Okay, so that's a problem. So why, until now, with all the resources that we have as a Muslim community, that we do not have proper standard, defined, clear-cut, relevant Islamic curriculum for our children, whether they go to public school or Islamic school, weekend school, or they don't go any of those at all, what my 7-year-old, 14-year-old, 21-year-old should be knowing. So if somebody said, I have a XYZ 16-year-old son or daughter, and I want to know what to teach them, here's your curriculum. That's what our dream is. So that's the world we live in, that we don't have that. The world that we want to be living in need that. So how can we reach from here to here? That's exactly what we're going to do over this year, inshallah Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah, after I finish, because today there are lots of information, so don't bother about taking notes and stuff, but please listen to this carefully 1 or 2 times and take notes after that, Sister Maryam and Sister Siti, inshallah. And two sisters can take notes, and then you cross-examine them both and go from there. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, each one of you can take that knowledge and apply to your own problem. It can be an issue that you are struggling with, marital relationship with your teenage child, with a neighbor at work, or something like that. So take the knowledge that we are tackling our big community problem with, and apply it to your own problem. And then, you can share that feedback later at the end of the year, and we can share the progress. If you want to share the progress with me, that's fine. If you want to apply exactly what we do based on how we share with our main problem, that's fine too. But our class will be basically applicable, and it is realistic, and it is more, should be functional. And you have to be very, very specific about the issue that you are doing. Don't say that, how can we live Islam in the West? That's too broad, right? But how can I be a female Muslim mother in Houston? That's more specific, right? Or what is my role in the Muslim community of Masjid As-Salam as a Muslim mother or as a Muslim wife? See, that's more specific, right? So that's what you need to pick your issue with. And the main issue also, do not say that, how can we raise our children in the West? That's too broad. But how can we deal with the children in public school system in Houston? That's more specific, right? Because now you are saying public school, or not any public school, but public school system in Houston. So when we're searching, we have to search the public school system in Houston. That you can find information easily, and you can talk to principals at Klein or principals in the Woodlands or Montgomery County or Klein or Houston HSID and so on. Okay. Yeah. So this is what we need to do. So today I'm laying down the foundation for all of that, so you would know. Every week we should have like an individual assignment, like a quiz, like a small question at the end of the class that everybody will answer. So I don't know how we're going to do that, Sister Mariam, but I think Zoom has a polling ability. So we can, I can give you the quiz ahead of time. After the lecture, I'm going to like 2 or 3 questions, and everyone can answer them on the spot. Okay? This is more to know that you were paying attention in the class. Like in the class, a problem was mentioned regarding blah, 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 or regarding such and such and such. So then you will say that, was this true or false? And so on. So just do polling, and we see this way for me and gauge how the class paid attention and how many were not, anonymously, okay? And it doesn't matter. For me, it is not like who did what. For me, is to know what is the percentage of attention in my class, or how many of you retained the information the following week, and so on. And every month, once we finish the course, then I'm gonna also send you longer, like a quiz, just write like 1 paragraph about an issue that was discussed in that course and how you will handle it, or how you plan to handle it. Is that clear? How you plan to handle it? So after we finish this class of strategic planning in February, for example, then I'll say such and such did such and such, or in the community there is such and such issue. Do you see this as a imminent problem? Do you see this as an issue pertinent to what we studied? And what would be the best course of action to do it based on what you learned? So you write me a paragraph 2 or 3 maximum, and I'll give you let's say this is 500 words or 750 words or 150 words, something like that, max. And we'll go from there. What else? So this is what I'm planning to do with you, inshallah Rabbil Alameen. So now we get to our course in February. As you know, there is a theme of the month in the masjid. Our main theme of the year is building the ideal Muslim individual and family. The main theme of Masjid al-Salam in general for life is, let's start from ISGH, Iqamat al-Din. That's a very broad statement. Iqamat al-Din means establishing the religion, And establishing the religion are 2 things. One is to help the followers of the religion to practice the religion based on proper understanding and good information. Correct information and proper understanding. They practice the religion based on correct information, authentic information, and proper understanding. That's Iqamat al-Din. Iqamat al-Din has 2 sides, 2 components. Iqamat al-Din, establishing the Din, has 2 components. One is to help the followers of the religion, followers of Islam, Muslims, and to help Muslims practice their Deen based on authentic, correct information and proper understanding, right? How we define authentic information and proper understanding, that's a course by itself. So help a Muslim to practice his or her Deen based on authentic, correct information and proper understanding. That's one. The other one is inviting the non-Muslim to the Deen. And one should not transgress the other or trump the other. Both have to go hand in hand. And if you have a choice to choose the first one, of course, establish the Deen. And establishing the Deen by practicing your Deen based on authentic information and proper understanding will apply to you as an individual, will apply to the family, will apply to the youth, will apply to everything. You can put everything under that. Da'wah to the non-Muslim, all the activities, interfaith, and all of that apply to that. So that is the IGH main goal, or main criteria, or vision, or mission statement. You can call it. What is in our Masjid Salam? Masjid Salam took this Iqamat al-Din, and Alhamdulillah, I with brother Reza and myself, we put building the individual, the human, building the good Muslim, building the good citizen, right? And building the good strong community. So you start the individual as a human, a humanity, all the good human characteristic. Then as a Muslim, what you need to be a good Muslim human being, then what you need to be a good Muslim citizen in the United States, and then how each one of us come together to have the community, right? So this is our objectives based on the main mission statement of IGH. Then we divided this for every year. Every year has a main theme, and then every month has a main theme. Okay, so the theme of this year is building the individual and the family. That's the focus. And then, this year's theme is very similar to last year's theme, but we are expounding a little bit more. So in January, be the change that you want to be. It's more like an introductory level to everything that is coming. Everybody says, I wish this, I wish this, I wish this. So that's the world that you wish. That's the world that you want. Every time you say, I wish we have this, I hope we have that. If this would have been the case, that would be better. Sheikh, you give the khutbah, but it would have been better for such and such. Okay, so all of this means what you want your world to be. It may be right, it may be wrong, but but just what it is. Now, why you are saying this? Because the world that you are in does not have that. So you are always looking for something that you do not have. So you don't have it now, and you're looking. I want that. I wish I have that. Now, there are conditions for this. There are conditions for that. The condition that you can hope whatever you want. You can suggest whatever you like. Everybody giving 100 suggestions per minute. That's okay. But it has to be one from a planning point of view. It has to be achievable. So you have to have something correct. Like you cannot say, I wish each and every one of us has a shuttle that goes to the moon in Masjid Salam. So see, come on, that you have to have something that can be achieved. So hope for something that can be achieved, something that it's doable, something that it's happening somewhere else, like that. This way you control your wild dreams. So you have like a certain level of dreams that can be achieved. Yeah, it's hard to achieve, yeah, but it can be achieved. Okay. From a organizational side, it has to be supported. It has to be supported by your governing body. Like you are a family, and I am the son or daughter. Whatever I want is achievable, but my parents have to approve it. My employer has to approve it. My administration of the Islamic Center have to approve it, and so on. So it has to be approved. And then it is implementable. It can be implemented because, yeah, you can plan very well, you can dream very well, it's achievable, and you can plan very well and it's approved. But that's not what the people want, But that's not what we need as people. That's only your thing. So you planned, you dreamt, you planned, you get approved, but when you come to the ground to, do the footwork, it's not doable. And that's where the issue is, right? So those are the components. So we focus on that. Last month was like that. You want to be this, you want the change, be that change. So before you suggest anything, before you say, this is how I want to see Masjid Salam, this is how I want to see my house, this is how I want to see myself, plan for it. Like, plan for it. And say that I want to do it. Like, I want that change to happen in the community, so I'll start with myself. I complain about people not being organized at the masjid. So you be organized for a while first. So when you talk about organization, people can relate to you. They can respect you, actually, because you are the one who's doing that. And all of them are not doing it, but you are the one who's doing it. They say, yeah, she's right. She's been doing that for a while. We are the ones who are not doing well. Okay? So this is what we did last, until this month, until, today is the last day of that. But last Friday was the last khutbah about that, about be the change that you want the world to be. To bring that change to yourself first. Now, February is the month of setting priorities and strategic planning. So let Sister Mariam tell us the components of this theme of the month. So go ahead, Sister Mariam, and read to us the message that you showed me this morning, and I'll comment on each part of it.
Yes, of course. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. We love this topic. Firstly, it is a blessing for us to do similar topics that are like an umbrella at the masjid. We all operate as a family. If our kids are learning the same thing, the men are learning the same thing, and we are learning the same thing, we have a very good dinner topic conversation. Inshallah, everybody's on the same page. And of course, this topic in itself is so perfectly timed, because upcoming Ramadan, time management and planning for Ramadan is also very essential. So coming back to strategic planning and setting priorities, we will learn about what and how executive functions in the light of Islam can save us from procrastinating, having distractions. It will protect us from the lack of organization, feeling unmotivated, and sometimes when we overplan, we also feel overwhelmed.
So is this? Sorry, I'm sorry for cutting you off. Is this like the first week, or this is the whole? You are giving summary of the whole thing.
Summary of the whole thing. The first week is the importance of goal setting. And planning and time management. This is the first thing that we're going to discuss this week.
Okay, let me comment first on the whole the summary of the whole thing. The importance of setting priorities, goal setting, right, and the strategic planning. That is the course name, right? Importance of goal setting and strategic planning. Goal setting means you have to have priorities to have a goal. Otherwise, you'll be shooting different ways, But when you define a goal, that means you already have priorities before that. And inshallah, we'll discuss next week what are the priorities, how to set your priorities out of all of these things that goes in your head, and pick the number one priorities and have a goal to achieve it. And then you'll have a strategic planning after that, how to achieve that goal and so on. And we'll choose the problem. So I'd like each and every one of you to discuss with each other. So Sister Mariam sent to everybody, even the sisters who did not attend today, or those who attend this course, because once we start, it is going to be the same problem till like the end of the class, right? So this is very, very important. So every month, actually, we're going to be tackling the same issue. But it's important for the month of February that you guys agree, that your sisters agree on an issue in our community. So pick one issue and agree on, and have those small ones for yourself to work on individually. It's up to you. You want to discuss with me, fine. You want to show me your work, that's fine. You don't want, that's okay. But I want the main issue that's happening with sisters in the masjid, be it kindergartner or the senior sisters or whoever in between, as something relating to women at Masjid Salam in North Houston in Texas. So this is something like in Texas, North Houston, Masjid Salam. Be very specific about an issue that this class, need solution for. So then we will talk about how important to set the goal. And the goal saves us from all these problems the Sister Mariam mentioned: procrastination, laziness, all of these things. First week will be about goal setting and strategic planning. It's in Quran and it's Sunnah, but we do not pay attention to that. So because Quran talks about time, all you who believe, have piety and righteousness to Allah, taqwa, and see what you did for tomorrow. Who can tell me what does that mean? Like, look what you did for tomorrow. What does that mean? Huh? Sisters, come on.
I didn't understand the question. I'm sorry.
The question, Allah says in the Quran, O you who believe, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, ittaqullah, have piety and righteousness, fear your Lord. وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ, let every soul look, مَا قَدَّمَتْ, what did it do, لِغَدٍ, for tomorrow. What does that mean?
Planning. What have you planned for your for Akhirah?
Okay. When do you plan?
In while you're in this world?
You see, everybody think like that. That's one way to think. But when do you plan for tomorrow?
Today.
Exactly. Like, when do you plan for tomorrow is today. Means you do not innate, yes?
Absolutely.
Do not say when tomorrow comes, we'll talk about it. Never do that. Let's talk about it now. If it is something concerning tomorrow, let's plan now. Not tonight, no, now. Let's talk about tomorrow now. So, and Allah Azza wa Jal said لِغَدٍ, for tomorrow. He did not say لِلْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, for akhirah. It is understood it is akhirah, yes, I understand that. But if you take it literally, it means tomorrow. So when is tomorrow? We'll think about it today. Because when we think about tomorrow, today, it's after tomorrow, right? Yeah, when you think about next week, so next week is not next week. The next is the one that comes then. That means you are continuously actually setting your priorities, making your goal, and strategically planning how to achieve it continuously, constantly, every single second of your life. So do not procrastinate. Muslims do not procrastinate. The Prophet ﷺ told us the importance of time management. He said many people, they are not aware of the importance of time and health. When they have their health, they don't use it properly. You go to the gym and exercise and everything. But why, when we get old, we start thinking about doing tahajjud? Where was that when I was young? If I did enough of that when I was young, I wouldn't bother when by missing it or by being tired when I'm old. How many Mondays and Thursdays you fast? Why you think about it when you are tired, when you are like retired, I'm sorry, and so on. Why you think about learning a new language when you are older? So all of these things that you should supposed to do when you were young, but when you were young, you were thinking about the wrong things. When you have money, you think about the wrong things. But now, when everybody else is enjoying your money, but you want to give sadaqah and everything, right? So the Prophet told us how to use time before it goes or slips away from you. What is the next thing, the next week after that? Sister Mariam, what is week 2?
Sorry, I was mute. Week 2 is going to be impulse control, which is self-control, basically, emotional management, emotional control, flexibility in your thoughts, how you can be flexible in your thinking, and working memory, how you can retain and maintain your memory.
Beautiful.
And,
Beautiful. Every one of us have 3 circles that we think continuously within. So I want you to imagine a larger circle, inside of it a smaller one, and inside of it a quarter one. So there are 3 circles, different in size, from small to big or from big to small, the way you like it. Are you imagining it now, each and every one? You're imagining 3 circles inside of each other?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say the circle outside is yellow, and the circle within it is orange, and the circle within it is red. Are you imagining that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the biggest circle, we're going to call it the circle of concern. The circle of concern. The second circle is the circle of influence. And the small circle is the circle of control. Right? So, circle of concern, circle of influence, and the circle of control. Now, the circle of concern are the things that you are concerned about on a daily basis. Can you give me examples that things are concerning you?
Cooking.
Yeah, write that in the bigger circle. If you have a paper and pen, or write it in your head. What else?
Children.
Children. What else?
Husband.
Husband. What else? Health.
Well, family first and then yourself.
Family, health, politics,
Money.
safety, our safety, income, paying debts, you name it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the circle of concern. So those are the things that you're concerned about. You're concerned about traffic in the morning. You're concerned about the COVID.
Weather.
You're concerned about weather. So basically, those are things that you can put under it 100 other concerns. Like when you say weather, all the things that can happen because of weather. It's a concern, right? And traffic, all the things can happen in traffic. Accident, delay, traffic jam, being pulled over, speeding, you name it. Sleeping while driving, whatever it is, right? So under each one of those, you can put 10 others, right? Right. Now, the inside circle, the circle of influence, those are the things that you can actually impact or affect. Can anybody give me examples? If you are a CEO of a company, it's decision making, right? So making decisions, answering my fatwas. That's influence. Now you are influencing somebody. You are feeding your children. You can influence that. If you do not cook, they're going to be like, you are concerned about cooking, yes, but if you didn't cook, there's an influence for that, right? Negative one. And if you cooked and the food was good, see, you're influencing people, the impact that you bring. And you can name many things, and under each one, there is an influence here. You can influence people negatively or positively. Somebody smoking, that's an influence, right? Somebody is loud, that's an influence. Somebody's angry, that's an influence. Somebody's smiling all the time, that's an influence. Somebody's welcoming, helping, influence, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Just trying to find the points here. Okay. So the first, we said that the first circle, you are concerned about like the weather, about the news, about the traffic, about the past, about your regrets, about the economy, about death, about birth and the population, about war, about traffic, about foreign policies. This is the circle of concern. Circle of influence, like your reputation, your future, your health, your atmosphere, work environment as well. Things you can influence yourself, your family, you can influence your friends, they can influence you on you influence them, your finances, you can influence it, and it can influence your success, your promotions, influence. Now, the smallest circle, which is most important, is the circle of control. Control is your thoughts. You can control your thoughts, control your actions, your reactions, can control your words, can control your choices. And that's what Sister Maryam was saying suggesting about the second week, right? About
Yes.
emotional control. So that's why I say circle of control, that's what you will be working. So what are you noticing here? The circle of influence, it has family, it has health, it has atmosphere, it has promotion, it has future. And the circle of control, it has your thoughts, your action, your choices, you notice that now?
Yeah.
So circle of influence, your reputation of yours and your family, your future and the future of your family. Voting, this is your future and the community's future. Your health and everybody's health, that's the influence, right?
Yeah.
But control is only your thoughts. And the area of control, there is nobody there. You do not control your wife. You do not control your husband. You do not control your children. Yeah? Yes?
Yeah.
You control what you are able to control, what you should be controlling. You cannot control people. You control yourself. But we do the opposite, right? We bring those who are in the concern and we think that we can control it. So my concern is about the future of Islam in the United States. But I put myself as the warrior who's going to protect Islam. That's wrong. That's not in the control. That's not the control. You control your words. You control how to give da'wah. And don't say that I'm only one. You know the story that when the jungle had a fire, then all the animals ran to a mountain, and that little bird started going to a water source and picking few drops and put them on the fire. And, you know, until he got tired, then he went and sat with the other animals and started laughing at him. So why you did that? He said, I got to be doing something.
Right.
Yeah. So what drops of water would do to the fire? Nothing. But at the end of the day, that bird did something that the rest of the animals did not do. Can be an inspiration for people 5 generations down, you know? So it's not like, you know, you have to be like in the spotlight or anything like that, but what you do. So don't bring things in the area of concern to area of control. You lose. It's much bigger than your control. And the area of influence, you influence people, but you do not control them, right? And you control your thoughts. You control your words. You control your actions and reactions. So I hope this is clear. So what is the third week?
The third week is once we have all this control in order, then comes task initiation,
Good.
perseverance, and leadership.
That's very good. You have to initiate it, and you have to be patient, and you have to be persevere. You have to persevere and be constant and consistent. Stand your ground and move steady, even though you're moving slow, but move steady until you achieve what you want. Oh? So this is leadership. Takes leadership. You do not have to be the leader, but make sure that you choose the right leader. So if you don't have leadership qualities, make sure you support one who has. Okay, so this is the third in order. What is the fourth?
So the fourth, so that is the end of it. But the fourth, we have the fourth week for question and answers and an in-person workshop where we can have an actual discussion.
And that's where we're going to say how you applied what we studied to your problem or to the problem that we agreed on. Yeah. So if you go back to the first week, we have, like next week, I want you to come, all of you ready before this coming Wednesday. Please, Sister Mariam, collaborate with all sisters and say we agree. I want you to say we have a consensus that we want to have such and such problem tackled in the month of February based on the topic, based on the theme of the month, right?
Right.
This is the issue. So you give me the issue, and then we will say, what is our goal? Now we define, right? What are of that issue? Like, let's have a goal. What is our goal? To solve that problem. How you want to solve it? How you want to see the solution? Solution is such. Okay. Now how we go about it? To set set the goal and set our priorities and strategic planning, so that we'll keep discussing for 3 weeks how we're going to do that. We're not
Okay.
going to procrastinate. We're not going to do all of these things. We avoid, but mainly for 3 weeks, we're going to be working on how we get from where we are to where it is.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll come up with a suggestion at the end. We send it to IGH. So that is what we discussed in a class. This
Mhm.
is a class, and that's what we need your support. We need your fund. We need your resources to achieve this. We have the plan, we have the strategy, but we need your support in this. We need IGH to put it in its platform, announce it, make people aware of it, and Khatib talk about it and stuff like that. Okay,
Mhm.
so that's every month we're gonna submit something like that to our administration.
Okay.
That's what we are discussing, and that's what we think it should be. So our world is like this, but it should be like that. So
Mhm.
we are to keep discussing that issue. So next week, please come with the problem that you concern that you agreed on. Doesn't have to be complicated or complex, and it does not have to be oversimplified. Pick something that's achievable, doable. It can be weighed. It can be understood, has its own limitations and all of that. And then we can achieve a goal for it. It's doable, but we just need to know. Diagnosing the problem, we have to see what are the main actors in this, and
Right.
what is helping, what is deterring, and so on. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay, now I have to stop because I have to get to the airport, right? And inshallah, we'll see you next week in Houston.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh, and have a safe journey. Inshallah, have an enjoyable journey. Assalamu
Please,
alaikum.
please write down all the points
Yes.
that we say, right? And send it to me also, and send it to everybody. Say those are the points that we discussed, and this is what's expected by next week, inshallah.
Inshallah. We will send a summary.
Jazakumullah khair.
Iyakum.